So I've been hearing a lot about, especially with what's going on, about how and when and what exactly is going to happen during the end times. So I'm going to go over a little bit about that with you. First off, in Daniel, chapter 9, it's always my go-to place. This is the angel of the Lord speaking to Daniel, a Jew, in the King James Bible. And he says, "And he informed me, and talked with me, and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding." This is the angel speaking to Daniel. "At the beginning of thy supplications the commandment came forth, and I am come to show thee, for thou art greatly beloved. Therefore understand the matter, and consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city, to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and the prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks, and the street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall the Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." So there's a lot of things that are going on here. This is a prophecy, and I'm going to try and explain what exactly it's talking about here. So first off, Daniel, he died around 538 BC, so we're going to put Daniel at 538 BC on our little timeline here. Alright, 538 BC is Daniel. So it says here, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish their transgression, and so on and so forth. It says, "From the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks, or in total 69 weeks. It says, the commandment to go and restore Jerusalem. At this time, Jerusalem was in captivity, and everything was basically in utter ruin. So go to Nehemiah. Nehemiah was the one who actually went forth and built the walls of Jerusalem, or rebuilt rather. Chapter 2, we'll start in verse 1. "And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine, and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is it thy countenance is sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of thy heart. Then was I very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, For what dost thou make request? So I prayed to the God of heaven, and I said unto the king, If it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldst send me into Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting beside him, For how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I sent him a time." And then we go on down here, and Nehemiah goes out, and he actually does build the walls, and he does build the cities, and it takes, I believe, around 58 days to build the city and the walls. And this is the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem. Now it says, over here in Daniel, there's going to be 69 weeks between that event and the Messiah being cut off. And it separates it, 7 weeks and the rest of the weeks, but we're not really going to go into what that extra 49 weeks or 49 years was, all that stuff. So we're just going to focus on between the wall and the Messiah. So the Messiah, Jesus, it is stated that he is born in 0 AD. There is no year 0 AD. It's 1 BC to 1 AD. He was born roughly 1 BC. So this is 1 BC. Is Jesus. And it doesn't say unto the Messiah, the Prince, simply. It says he will be cut off. That cut off, the word cut off there, that is actually used back in Genesis and Exodus and several other places where it says things like you will be cut off from this group, you will be cut off from that group. It simply means that basically you're being excluded from the group. This is your people, and your people basically are done